श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदताम् ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। आप सभी का स्वागत है आज के इस गीता के प्रवचन में।
We welcome all of you to today's Bhagavad Gita class.
तृतीय अध्याय के 19 श्लोक से
We are studying chapter 3 verse 19 onwards.
प्रश्न पूछा गया था अर्जुन के द्वारा।
Arjun had asked Bhagavan that what is of ultimate benefit for him,
द्वितीय अध्याय में भगवान ने कर्म योग और ज्ञान
because in the second chapter Bhagavan had spoken both of karma yoga and jnana yoga,
हुआ कि उसको क्या
but
करना चाहिए।
Arjun was not clear what he should do.
कि किससे मेरा श्रेय होगा वह कृपया करके मुझे बताइए।
Arjun had asked, please tell me what is of ultimate welfare for me. So Bhagavan had spoken of two divisions of Nishtha, one of Jnana Yoga, other of Karma Yoga. And first he spoke of Karma Yoga, how why it is important to perform karma. Because every person has to perform karma, otherwise his bodily maintenance will not be possible. In the previous verse he had explained the person who has become free of material desires and has priti for Bhagavan, for such a person there is nothing remaining to be done. There is no duty for him to be performed. So, whether he does something or does not do, it makes no difference for him.
कृते नेह कश्चन न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु कश्चिदर्थ व्यपाश्रयः। और उसको किसी के भी आश्रित होने की आवश्यकता नहीं है क्योंकि उसका
He
जीवन
doesn't
में
have to depend on anyone
प्रयोजन नहीं है जिसको उसे
because
करना
there is no
जो प्राप्त
purpose in his life to be attained. What he had to attain, he has already attained that.
जो ऐसा व्यक्ति होगा तो वो फिर कुछ कर्म
Now the
करेगा
question is, this type of person will actually perform some karma or
क्यों
no?
करेगा
And if he will perform, why will he do that?
क्योंकि अब उसके लिए करने के लिए तो कुछ रहा नहीं है
Because there is nothing remaining for him
तो उस
to be
विषय
done.
में भगवान यहाँ पर
So in that respect, Bhagavan is speaking here in this verse and the next one.
और ये अर्जुन के प्रश्न का उत्तर भी है जो उन्होंने पूछा था
And this is also the answer to Arjuna's question,
श्रेय हम आपने याम के मेरे को निश्चय पूर्वक बताइए कि इन दोनों
that
में
please tell me decisively that out of these two, which one should I do?
स्पष्ट बोलते हैं
So here Bhagavan speaks clearly.
कार्यम कर्म समाचर असक्तो ही आचरण कर्म परम आपनोति पुरुष। अतः सदैव फल की आसक्ति से रहित होकर अपने नियत कर्म को
Therefore,
कुशलतापूर्वक
always perform your prescribed duty efficiently without attachment for the results. By carrying out one's prescribed duty without attachment,
निश्चित रूप
a
से
person certainly attains the supreme goal.
तो भगवान का बल जो है वो कर्म करने पर है
So Bhagavan's emphasis is on performing karma. He is telling this again and again. He'll repeat this point till the 18th chapter.
हमारा जो मनुष्य
Because
जन्म हुआ है
our human birth
ये शरीर कर्म प्रधान है
is primarily for karma. This body is primarily meant to perform karma. We have hands. Hands are required to perform karma.
वचन प्रसारण तो ये
In Vaisheshik also we
हाथ से
studied.
होता है सभी
All these are done through hands only. And Gaman,
भी जैसे व्यक्ति कर सकता है वैसे और दूसरी कोई योनि नहीं है जिसमें इस प्रकार व्यक्ति चल सकता है जितना
the way a human being can walk
कर सकता है
and perform
इसलिए बार बार
activities, other species cannot do that. That's why Bhagavan speaks again and again about karma. And he will speak about himself also, that he also performs karma, although he has nothing to achieve.
क्योंकि जो आध्यात्मिक मार्ग में
Because
लोग आते हैं वो
people who come to the spiritual path, their inclination is, their mentality is that karma leads to bondage and karma is for karmis, and why should we perform karma? We are going to walk on the spiritual path, so we do not need to perform karma.
तो ये एक प्रकार की भ्रांति है क्योंकि भगवान ने
So this is a misunderstanding because Bhagavan has told earlier already
कर्म करके किए बगैर तो आप रह नहीं सकते
that you cannot survive without performing karma. You will have to do something. At least for your bodily maintenance, you will have to do karma. But it should be done in such a way that you do not get bound
वास्तव में दोष
to that karma.
में नहीं है
So actually the fault does not lie in karma, the fault lies with the attachment.
बंधन कर्म से नहीं होता है
The bondage is not due to karma, the bondage is due to attachment. Because if bondage is due to karma, then Bhagavan will also become bound. The Siddha Mahatmas, they also will become bound because they in fact perform more karma compared to others.
आध्यात्मिक मार्ग में नहीं हो तो 5 दिन ही कर्म करते हैं
Those who are not on the spiritual path, they perform karma 5 days a week.
में उनको तो सातों
But those who are on the spiritual path, they work all 7 days a week. And it is not that they are forced to perform, they do it willingly. It is not that they are forced to do that. They do not perform karma under pressure. So the problem
वो केवल आसक्ति की है
is only of attachment.
इसलिए अगर हम क्रिया
That is why
करते हैं
if we are performing action without attachment,
जो है वो
such action will
साधन बनता है
become the cause of liberation.
बंधन में पड़ते हैं वो इससे मुक्ति होती है
The karma which causes bondage can also give liberation, because actually bondage and liberation are not dependent on karma, but they are dependent on attachment.
असक्त है शब्द का प्रयोग करते हैं तस्मात्
That's why in this verse Bhagavan uses the word asakta twice.
समाचार है असक्त ही आचरण तो इस आसक्ति विहीन स्थिति पर वो बल देने के लिए 2 बार इस शब्द का प्रयोग
So
करते
he
हैं।
is laying emphasis on the
सततम असक्तम
state of mind which is free of attachment.
वो कार्य के साथ नहीं है।
The word satata is not with karya.
सततम कार्यम कर्म समाचर,
Its anvay can be done with karya also,
उसके साथ में इसका
meaning that always do karma. But here its anvay is with asaktah.
आपको ये
That
विहीन आसक्ति रहित होना, ये ऐसा नहीं है कि थोड़ी देर के लिए आसक्ति विहीन हो जाए।
it is not that for some time you should be free of attachment,
कुछ समय के लिए तो व्यक्ति
because for some time everybody is free from attachment, because once your desire is fulfilled, now you do not have attachment to that. But you have not become free from attachment itself, because now you have attachment for something else. So here asaktah means that you yourself are detached, meaning you do not have attachment. So what Rup Goswami ji says, anyabhilashita shunyam, ta means free from all desires. It means you do not have even the seed of the desire, because you may not have desire, but you may have the seed of desire. That desire seed will fructify again and you will have desires. So here what Bhagavan is telling you, to be free from the seed of desire. Because when a person is sick, he does not have taste for food. Even if you give his favorite dish to him, he will still not be inclined to eat that. Does that mean he is free from the desire for that food? He is sick, he is not healthy. When he will be healthy again, he will again eat the same food. So in this way, people have many times it happens that for a small duration a person becomes free from the attachment. When we are angry on somebody, then we do not have attachment for that person for some time. But when the anger goes away, then we again become attached.
फिर वो कार्य करना है उसको, तो कार्य,
so to be free from attachment and then to perform
कार्यम कर्म समाचर,
karyas.
तो यहाँ पर दो शब्द हैं।
So here there are two words.
कार्यम और कर्म दोनों का एक ही अर्थ होता है।
Actually karya and karma mean same only.
प्रत्यय लगा है, एक पर मनिन प्रत्यय लगा है, दोनों का अर्थ है करना। तो कार्यम का मतलब है कि जो करना चाहिए।
Karya means what should be done, what is worth doing, that sort of karma.
जो है वो कर्म के साथ में इसका विशेषण बन के आया है, क्योंकि
So karyam is like a visheshan with karma,
कार्य कर्म भी,
because karma can be karya karma or akarya karma. There is karma which should not be done and there is karma which should be done.
भगवान यहाँ कहते हैं कि कार्य कर्म समाचार।
So Bhagavan is telling here, karyam karma samachara. Perform that karma which is worth doing, which should be done, which is your duty. Meaning, which if done will lead to welfare of society and yourself also. And that happens only when a person performs karma devoid of attachment. The person who performs karma devoid of attachment,
आसक्ति सहित कर्म करने से किसी का कोई भला नहीं।
when a person performs karma with attachment, it neither helps him nor the society, although the person thinks that it will be of benefit to me, but actually it does not lead to any benefit.
आपाततः ऐसा दिखता है कि हम जो कार्य कर रहे हैं,
Temporarily it seems that whatever
उससे मेरे को लाभ हो रहा है,
we are doing for earning wealth, etc., it is bringing benefit to me. But actually if you are doing it with attachment, you are getting more and more bound. It is not benefiting you.
पिछली कक्षाओं में हमने 5 ऋण के बारे में बात की थी।
In the previous class we had spoken of 5 debts.
जो आसक्ति पूर्वक कर्म करता है,
So one who acts with attachment is neither not free from debts, rather his debts keep increasing. It does not benefit him. In fact, it causes more loss. This type of person causes damage to society also, because whatever he is thinking as benefit, it involves exploitation of others.
तो इसलिए जो कर्म का सिद्धांत भगवान यहाँ बता रहे
That's
हैं,
why the karma siddhanta that Bhagavan is explaining here is very important to understand. Whatever verses he spoke of
कर्म बंधन जो
till
यज्ञ
now,
अर्थात कर्म यज्ञ के लिए कर्म करें,
that do karma for yajna,
सूत्र मैंने स्थापित
and I have created this cycle.
यज्ञ वही है जो आसक्ति
So this yajna is that only,
प्रभु की प्रसन्नता
it,
के लिए कार्य करें या
devoid of attachment, performing action for the pleasure of Bhagavan, for welfare of society,
विहीन है,
and only that person can
इसमें आसक्ति है वो
help the society who is free from attachment. One who is full of attachment will not work for others' welfare because he just wants to
और जो
fulfill his own desire.
आसक्ति विहीन नहीं है,
And those who are not free from attachment, what will they do?
आसक्ति विहीन नहीं है लेकिन आसक्ति विहीन होना चाहता है,
The person who is not free from attachment but wants to be free from attachment,
उसको लिए
what should he do?
करना, उसी के लिए कहते हैं
That person should practice.
परम आपनोति पूर्ण के
For
आसक्ति
him only, Bhagavan is telling here
प्रयास करो और ऐसा
that
करने से
you should practice
आपको
carrying out your prescribed duty, performing your karma without attachment, and you will certainly attain the supreme goal.
तम ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्य
Arjun had spoken of earlier
श्रेय हो वो मेरे को बताइए,
that please tell me that which will give me supreme welfare.
अलग अलग मार्ग
So Shreya, Param Gati is same only. People in different paths give different meanings. Those who are on Gyan Marg, they say that the supreme goal is moksha.
भक्ति है,
Others say that the supreme goal is Paramatma or Bhakti. So if you do like this, if you work without attachment, you will attain moksha or Paramatma, whatever according to your path.
कर्तव्य कर्म करने से
So that is why
शक्ति है वो मिट जाएगी,
if you perform your prescribed duty,
ये बड़ी आश्चर्य
you will
बात है कि कर्म करने से
become free from attachment. So now this is a great wonder. By performing karma, how will you become detached?
संस्कार पड़ता है,
Generally, people say that when we perform karma,
पड़ेगा
then we get a samskar of that karma, and when we get samskar, we will become more attached to performing that activity, and that activity will bind us.
करने से
It will become more firm in our heart.
आसक्ति समाप्त होगी,
So how can we become free from attachment? By performing karma.
चीज को हम कर रहे हैं
Superficially, it seems that it is not possible.
आसक्ति समाप्त होगी,
How can we become free from the attachment to something by doing it?
जब उसमें आसक्ति रहती
So the answer is that the samskara gets imprinted in your chitta when you perform that activity with attachment, because along with samskara there is raga and dvesh.
है वो राग और द्वेष से आती है,
Samskara gets power from raga and dvesh. Samskara in itself has no power.
जैसे आप सड़क पर
We have a lot of these neutral samskaras within us.
देख रहे हैं उनको,
When you are walking on the road, you are seeing plants, trees, etc. on the side of the road. People are walking, vehicles are moving, your eyes are open, you are seeing all that.
होता है हमारे अंदर,
Is any sanskara getting imprinted in you
उनको ज्ञान प्राप्त होता
when you are watching all this? Because whatever knowledge we get from our senses, the samskaras get imprinted.
है, तो
So we do not have any raga or dvesh
न्यूट्रल,
for that. So these are neutral samskaras.
शक्ति नहीं होती,
So they do not have any power.
इसलिए वो उद्बुद्ध नहीं होंगे बाद में को उनको कुछ
That's why such samskaras will not trigger us. They will not be activated. So you will not even remember that. Our memory happens through samskaras only. So those samskaras are so weak,
बेसमेंट में एकदम चले जाते हैं कि उनको आप ढूंढ नहीं सकते,
they enter right at the bottom in the basement. We cannot even find them.
जो संस्कार होते हैं
So these samskaras,
कि आपको स्मृति नहीं होती है उनके बारे में,
we do not remember them.
और
We do not recognize them.
उनसे आपके ऊपर कोई असर नहीं पड़ता,
These samskaras do not affect us.
बार ऐसा होता है कि आप
Many times it happens
के पास में ही अनेक दुकानें होंगी और उसमें कोई
that
दुकान
there will be many shops near you.
दांत चिकित्सक भी हो सकती है,
Some shops may be of
दांत में कुछ दर्द नहीं होता,
dental treatment also.
यहाँ पर थी,
Until and unless you have a dental problem, you may not even remember that there is a dental clinic nearby.
पता चलेगा हाँ यार ये तो दुकान यहीं पर है,
But when you start having toothache, then you realize, oh, there is a dental clinic nearby. So why did you not remember earlier? Because you were not interested in that. So along with samskara, raga and dvesha are there. These raga and dvesha, they provide power to the samskara. So when we perform sadhana, mostly everyone has this experience. When you perform japa, your mind does not focus on japa, mind keeps wandering here and there. At least in the initial stages, everyone suffers from this problem. Because when you are doing japa, you do not have any deep samskara of japa. That some samskara is there, but it does not have any power. But the other activities that we have done in our life, their samskaras are very deep, very strong. Especially especially the prohibited activities which we want to give up, which we do not want to perform, activities related to lust, they arise in the mind very frequently, because when we engaged in those activities, we did that with lot of absorption. Because people ask, when I do japa, why do I get afflicted with lusty thoughts? That is because when you perform those activities earlier, those samskaras got lot of power due to your attachment. When people do surveys and they have different variables, questions to be asked, then those questions, different questions have weighing factor, weightage. Because we have both good and bad samskaras, but the bad samskaras, they have a lot of weightage. They are very heavy. And what is the reason? The reason is that when a person performs any wrong activity, he does it very carefully. When he is doing a good activity, it is not so much aware about it. He doesn't do so carefully because he is not worried that he will be caught. But when somebody is stealing or speaking a lie or making some adharmic relation, then he will do that activity very, very carefully. So his mind, his entire intelligence will be absorbed in that activity. So what happens is that samskara becomes very deep. It has lot of weightage. But that same samskar, and when you are doing japa, then that wrong samskara starts coming up on the surface. So you do not have to be afraid of that. Uh, Basically, your japa is uprooting that samskara, and you did that very carefully. So suddenly that samskara gets a shock that why is this person throwing me away? So for such a long time he kept me so carefully in his chitta. Now he is uprooting it. So the samskara start throwing tantrums. So you will have to work hard to get rid of that. So the point I was emphasizing is that just by performing karma, how will you get rid of the attachment to that karma? It is same like telling, when you are doing some wrong activity and you continue doing that, repeating that, then that samskara will become more and more strong. And but here you are telling that if you perform action devoid of attachment, then you will lose the attachment to that karma also. So this is the principle, that any activity, if you do it without attachment, if you have done earlier, that if earlier you have done that activity with attachment, that attachment will slowly go away. If now you do that activity without attachment, this is the secret of sadhana. Sadhana, the secret of sadhana is that it should be done intelligently. You should use your intelligence along with your sadhana. Although it doesn't appear like that from this verse, but Bhagavan's statements have a lot of deep meaning. So Bhagavan is telling that you should perform karyam karma, that karma which is worth doing. If we are devotees, what is the karma that we should do? It's all devotional activities like puja, seva. So that is worth, that is activity which is worth doing. So how should we do that activity? Devoid of personal attachment, devoid of material attachment. We should do it anya vilashita shunya. It doesn't mean that we do not need anything. We need bhakti only. What we will get is bhakti only. So when we are doing bhakti karma, we should not have the desire that I get mukti, I become a siddha, I get a siddha swarup. This is all kamna, this is all desire. Those who are after siddha swarup. Because when you will get siddha swarup, what will you do? You have to anyway do seva only.
तो उसको यहीं करके दिखाओ पहले
If
साधक
you
रूपेण
if you are anyway going to do seva after becoming siddha, first prove your service attitude in a sadhak body. Now people don't like to do any seva. If we tell somebody to do seva, they say that my bhajan will be disturbed. So the point is, what will you do after becoming siddha then? Why do you want to become siddha?
ज्ञान मार्ग की तरह नहीं है कि आपको सब
So
कुछ
this is not Gyan Marga where you have to give up everything. We are not going to give up bhakti. Our goal with seva is to get more seva.
लेकिन यहाँ तो हनुमान
People become scared of seva, but Hanumanji is telling,
पदम इच्छति ऐसा कौन मूर्ख है
who is that fool
को प्राप्त करके
who, after getting dasatva, will like to become Prabhu? He is a fool.
मूढ़ है तो इसलिए कहते हैं कि असक्तः
That is why he is telling here,
तो उसको कुछ मिलेगा ऐसा करने से क्या मिलेगा उसको कहते हैं
what will he achieve by doing this? So here Bhagavan is telling he will get everything. If he does karma without attachment, he will get the supreme goal.
तो यहाँ तो परम मिल जाएगा उसको
He will get param,
नहीं मिलेगा
not aparam.
आप जो कामना करोगे आपकी कामना तो अपर ही होगी
Whatever you will desire, that will be your apara only, because our intelligence is so limited.
तो कर्म करने से आसक्ति रहित कर्म करने से उसमें आसक्ति समाप्त हो जाती है क्योंकि जैसा मैंने कहा कि राग और द्वेष ये ही वास्तव में बंधन के कारण है
Without attachment, we lose the prior attachment, because raga and dvesh are the two main factors which provide power to the samskara that is generated by doing karma with attachment.
उद्देश्य को लेके आदमी
Generally, it is also seen that the goal for which a person performs any activity, when he is working,
को भूल भी जाता है
then he even may forget the purpose. But when the activity will be completed, then the mind will again be immersed in the goal itself. Like if a person opens a shop, when he goes to the shop, he goes to his shop to earn money. But when he is sitting in the shop, he is meeting the customers. All the time he is not thinking about the money.
किसको क्या देना है क्या करना है
He is thinking about the products, what has to be given to whom. But when the day will be over and he has to close the shop, then he will check the accounts. He will check how much did he earn in that day,
उसकी बुद्धि
because
उद्देश्य पर ही चली जाएगी
his intelligence will be focused on
भूल भी जाएगा
the money only, even though he might have forgotten that during the activities in the day. Similarly, if our goal is to obtain preeti, to achieve Bhagavan,
तो उसी में नहीं
so when we are doing seva all the time, we will not think about that. There may be some problems and we have to solve those problems.
कोई मैनेजमेंट में है
Somebody may be in management, then there are a lot of problems. So then he has to think about that, how to solve the problem. It's not that all the time he will be thinking about Preeti or Bhagavan. But if he has this resolve within that whatever I am doing here, I am not doing it for myself, I have to obtain Preeti for Bhagavan, I want to do his seva. So when your seva will be done for the day, then at the end you will thinking about Bhagavan, about Preeti only.
कि हमारा मूल उद्देश्य जो है
So this is what
सही होना चाहिए
detachment means. Our primary goal should be very clear. That's why Sri Jiva Goswami explains this clearly in the beginning of Tattva Sandarbha when he is analyzing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam to explain what is the essence of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So he discusses about Sambandha Abhideya Prayojan. So he explains what is Prayojan. So this is the Tattva.
क्रिया क्या है,
our sambandha with Bhagavan, our
प्राप्त क्या करना, हमको
relation,
कहाँ पहुँचना चाहते हैं,
what is the abhideya and what is the prayojan, where do we want, what do we want to achieve. So it is very, very important to understand the prayojan. Otherwise, some people, they keep wondering,
है या नहीं है,
I want this, I want that, and that is actually the
स्पष्ट करना
prayojan
तभी तो हम
worth achieving also or no.
होगा। अगर मेरे को यही
If your prayojan is not clear, if you are not clear about your destination, how will you be clear about the path to be chosen?
पकड़ना है,
Which road should I
मेरे को मेरा
walk on? Which highway should I choose? But when I am absolutely clear about my destination, then I'll be also clear that which are the roads that lead to the destination and which is the best road to be taken. That is why it is very, very important to clarify the prayojan in the beginning. The more we have clarity about our destination, the more we will be clear about our path, because then any activity that we perform, we will be able to check, will this activity lead me to my destination or no? Because many times people ask me, should I do this or not? Then I ask them, what is your prayojan? What is your goal? And then I tell them, check if your activity is going to lead to the goal or no, or which one will lead to the goal.
प्रयोजन है परम आपनोति,
So the param that Bhagavan is speaking of here is the prayojan, the goal.
तो ही आचरण करना,
So when you will be able to achieve the goal, that will be when you perform karma devoid of attachment. So we have to work.
होकर करना है, और जो कार्य है यानी कि जो करनी है, जो करने योग्य है उसको करना है। इसलिए वेद में भी कहा
So
है कि
whatever we have to do,
मधु विंद,
whatever is worth doing, we should do that.
जो कार्य करता है उसी को मधु मिलता है, घर में बैठे नहीं मिल जाता है ऐसे ही।
Just by sitting, you will not achieve anything. We have to work and with detachment. So this is very important.
कर्म समाचार। अब ये जो कर्म है, जो कर्म योग का विवरण भगवान यहाँ पर दे रहे हैं,
So the karma yoga explanation that Bhagavan is giving here is also very important to understand, because many people have confusion in this.
कर्म योग का वर्णन पुराणों में भी आता है, स्मृति में भी आता है, और वैसे भी
And the karma yoga description happens in the Puranas, Vaisheshika, etc. So mainly there are 2 points here. It is of 2 types. When we do not understand that, when we do not understand both, then confusion happens.
तो हमें दोनों को ही समझना होगा।
People generally just understand one point.
उसमें ये वर्णाश्रम जो व्यवस्था है, ये सबसे पहले आती है, क्योंकि हमारा जो समाज था यहाँ भारत में,
So first point is about to Varnashram. The society that we had in India, the Vedic society, it was designed based on Varnashram. What is the reason behind that?
मूल सिद्धांत क्या है,
What is the main principle behind that? That is that you think like this, that suppose there is a factory
मानो वो कार बनाती है,
and it manufactures cars.
इसमें अनेक विभाग हैं,
It has various departments.
सेल्स
There is a manufacturing department, sales, marketing, stores.
HR डिपार्टमेंट अलग है,
There is a human resource department.
डायरेक्टर, सबके अलग अलग
So there are different people appointed to oversee these departments.
परचेजिंग डिपार्टमेंट है,
There is purchasing department.
तो ये सब लोग अपना अपना कार्य करते हैं।
So people who lead these departments, they do their their respective functions, and they know what they are supposed to do. And
का मतलब ये है कि मानो आप उस फैक्ट्री में काम कर रहे हैं,
so if they are working with detachment means that you are working in the factory and you are using various equipments. So you know that these things are given to me for
बिजनेस चल रहा है उसको,
working for the company, not that I use them for my own personal benefit.
जितनी भी सुविधाएं आपको मिली हैं वो उस
The
फैक्ट्री के लिए
benefits that the company has given to me, they are given for working for the company only. So if you do like this,
करता है,
if every person works like this, then that factory will run very efficiently. It will function very efficiently.
दूसरी फैक्ट्री है वो भी कार
Now suppose there is another factory that also manufactures cars.
नहीं, ये तो एक आदमी बेचारा असेंबली लाइन पर काम करता है, वो मैनेजर क्यों नहीं बन सकता है?
So there, if people speak all kinds of things that somebody is working in the assembly line, why can't he become manager? Somebody is in the marketing department, why can't he do this? This person, why can't he do that?
करने का अधिकार
Everybody should have the freedom to do whatever he or
वहाँ ऐसा
she
कुछ नहीं है कि आप
likes.
कौन से डिपार्टमेंट में हैं,
So suppose in that factory,
क्या
there is no particular
आपकी
designation that
संस्कृति
you
है,
are
क्या पहचान है,
this
आप
or
किसी
you
भी
are
चीज
to
में
work in this department. You have the freedom to work wherever
तो उनको
you
ऐसा
like
लगता
in
है
that
कि
factory.
सब बराबर हैं,
If they follow this principle that all are equal
सबको समान अधिकार होना चाहिए,
and everyone should have the equal rights,
तो वहाँ पे क्या कुछ होगा क्या उस फैक्ट्री में?
will
एक भी
that
कार
factory be able to manufacture even one car?
नहीं निकल सकती ना,
Not
कभी
possible,
संभव ही नहीं है, क्योंकि किसी को यही पता नहीं होगा कि मेरा यहाँ
because nobody
कर्तव्य
knows
क्या है।
that what is my responsibility here.
तो जिसका जहाँ मन हो गया वो वहीं करने लगेगा,
Whoever,
तो पूरी अव्यवस्था हो जाएगी।
everybody will do whatever he or she
वर्णाश्रम
likes.
जो
So there will be a
समाज
complete
और आश्रम समाज, ये
chaos.
दोनों बिल्कुल ऐसे ही हैं
So this
वास्तव में,
Varnashram society,
क्योंकि आज किसी को एक तो
what
ये
was
मालूम नहीं
there?
है कि मैं कौन हूँ और मेरे को क्या करना
In
चाहिए।
today's society,
और
people
वर्णाश्रम
don't know
समाज
who
में ऐसा
they
कोई
are,
व्यक्ति नहीं था जिसको ये पता ना हो
what
कि
they
कोई
should
ब्राह्मण
do.
उसको क्या
And
करना
in
है।
Varnashram society,
उसका
there was
पहला ही कर्तव्य ये
nobody
था
who did not know what he
कि
should
मैं तो
do.
भाई ब्राह्मण हूँ, मैं
From
ब्राह्मण
birth,
हूँ,
that person knew that I am a Brahman or a Kshatriya and this is what I am supposed to do. My parents have also been doing this and I also have to
कोई
learn
ऐसा नहीं
this
था
and I have to perform my job.
बिल्कुल भी,
So there was no
किसी ने सोचा
problem
भी
of
नहीं कि दुनिया
identity
ऐसी
crisis
है।
in the Varnashram society. Nobody had ever
और आज
heard of
समाज ये
this
है कि
concept of
ऐसा
identity
कोई नहीं है
crisis.
जिसका
And
आइडेंटिटी
in
क्राइसिस
today's
नहीं है,
society, there is no person who does not have identity
किसी को
crisis.
भी पता नहीं
Everybody is
होता है
suffering
कि
from
मैं
that
कौन हूँ,
because nobody has ever been
क्योंकि
told who you
समाज में जो
are.
हो, जैसे
You,
हमारा
you
शरीर
are
है,
part of the society.
उसमें
What is
हाथ
your
है,
role in the
पता है हाथ को
society?
क्या करना है, पैर को क्या करना है, नाक को क्या करना है,
Like our
लेकिन
body,
अंदर
the
अंदरूनी
hands, legs,
शरीर में
every
क्या करना है,
organ
क्या करना है,
in the body knows
तो
what
ऐसा
it is
नहीं कि उनको
supposed to
आपस में
do.
कंफ्यूजन हो जाए
Now,
कि ये
suppose the
है और
organs
मैं
get
पैर हूँ और
confused
मैं
among
चलता नहीं
themselves,
चाहता,
and the hands start
सब
thinking
चलेगा
that I also should
सिर
walk
से
like
चलता
the
है।
legs. Now, if you start walking on your
एक्सरसाइज भी
hands,
करते हैं ना, ऐसा नहीं है,
there are some people who dance on their head also.
सीधे
I have
ऐसे
seen
चलते
this in
हैं
New
तो
York.
नाचते हैं। अब भाई ये सिर नाचने के लिए बनाया है कि पैर नाचने के लिए
So
बनाया
the
है?
question is, head is given for dancing or legs are given for dancing? If you want to dance, dance on your legs. Why do you dance on your
सीधे
head?
पैरों में तो चल सकते हो क्या?
Now, if you say that I have to walk on your head, how will you be able to do that?
नाचोगे भी तो कितनी देर नाचोगे आप सिर से?
And how long can you dance on your head?
तो मानो अगर हमारे शरीर के अंग ऐसा करने लगे हैं
So imagine
कि
that
मैं खाना नहीं
if
खाऊंगा,
the organs of our body start having this
तो
confusion and they start fighting among themselves, if the mouth says that every
शास्त्र
day I only have to work hard for eating,
तो ये वर्णाश्रम समाज जो है
the
वो
whole
बिल्कुल
system
ऐसा
will
ही
be
है।
in chaos. So our Varnashram
ये बहुत
system,
तर्कपूर्ण
it
है
was very
और बहुत
efficiently designed.
विश्वसनीय है,
There was no chaos. Everybody knew
लेकिन
what he had to
आज
do.
इसको सबसे निकृष्ट देखा जाता है।
But nowadays, Varnashram society is
इंडोलॉजी डिपार्टमेंट के लोग
looked
या
upon
किसी से भी बात कर लो तो कहेंगे इसमें तो
in a
शोषण
very
हो रहा है,
negative way. The Western Indologists, they say that India's
शोषण नहीं
Varnashram
होता है,
is nothing but
जबकि भारत के समाज
exploitation.
में तो शोषण होता ही नहीं है कहीं पर।
They speak as if there is no
वहाँ तो
exploitation
अधिकारी
in the
जीवन है,
society outside Varnashram,
जन्मते ही
and in that society,
आसक्ति रहित,
everybody is
अरे जहाँ आसक्ति
detached
होगी वहीं से
and
मुक्ति
only
होगी।
interested in the welfare of
शास्त्र
others.
बताता था कि उस आसक्ति से आप मुक्त
Actually,
हो।
exploitation happens wherever there is
शरीर
attachment,
द्वारा
and
जो
our
कार्य हम
Varnashram
जिसको कर रहे
society
हैं
taught
उसको करने से
how
अटैचमेंट से
to
मुक्त हो जाओ,
function in a way that you become
उसमें सबको
detached,
भला है।
and
तो
it is beneficial for
ये
everyone.
कर्म का सिद्धांत, कर्म वर्णाश्रम जो है वो पहले तो समझ लो कि ये एक व्यवस्था है,
So first of all, you
ये
have to understand that Varnashram is a
उपयोगी है,
system. Now we don't have any Varnashram.
ना कि कहीं भी नहीं है।
It is lost totally. No matter whatever
थोड़ा
people
बहुत लोग,
say,
दो चार लोग
little bit,
व्यक्तिगत रूप से करते रहते
some
हैं,
two three
लेकिन
people,
जो समष्टि
whoever
की व्यवस्था पूरी है, जो एक परिवार
they
की
do
व्यवस्था
that
है,
on an individual level. But actually, Varnashram is not just about one
वहाँ
person. It
ये
is about the
आदर्श है।
entire society.
पहले पूरा समाज ही ऐसे ही
Some
था,
places may be adopting that. That is nice. But earlier, the entire
तो
society in
दो
the
प्रकार
country
से
was
रहे।
designed on Varnashram.
एक जो पूर्व
So it
जमाने
was
का
on
जो
it,
मनुस्मृति
it
और
was
स्मृति
designed in
पर
two ways.
आधारित है,
One is the Varnashram based on Puromimamsa and
जो
Manusmriti,
महाभारत
and the
रामायण
other
में
is
था,
the one Bhagwan mentions of in Gita, Mahabharata, that
तो
one.
दोनों को समझना आवश्यक है।
So we have to understand
तो
both.
जो स्मृति शास्त्र वाला है उसमें क्या है कि
So the
उसमें
Varnashram of the Smriti Shastra, in that there is Varnashram,
और फिर
the four Varnas, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and those who are outside that, they are called Avarnashrami.
बाह्य
Means they are Varna Bahya, they are
तो
outside
ये सब
Varnashram.
केवल वर्णाश्रम वालों के लिए है।
So that
बाकी समाज
system was only for those born in Varnashram. And since the society was designed in such a way, there was no person who was Varna Bahya. But suppose there is some person who is outside Varnashram also.
कि अगर आप वर्ण बाह्य हैं
So for them the Siddhanta was
बेसिक जो
that
सिद्धांत है मूल धर्म के सिद्धांत
you
हैं
follow the basic principles of Dharma,
चोरी ना करना,
like non-violence,
करना,
truthfulness, not stealing, not lying,
करना, सेवा करना, अगर इस प्रकार
doing
का
seva.
वो जीवन
If
बिताएंगे
you lead a life
तो
like
शूद्र
this,
बनेंगे।
then in next life you will be born as a
जब
Shudra.
आप शूद्र बनेंगे
Then when you will be born as a Shudra and you perform the dharma of
तो मरते
Shudra
समय आप स्वर्ग जाएंगे,
nicely, then after death you will achieve
कर लेंगे,
Swarga, you
नीचे
will
आएंगे,
enjoy
आपका जन्म
Swarga, and when you will come down again, then you will be born in a Vaishya family.
वैश्य का
Then
धर्म
when you are born as a Vaishya and perform
फिर
your
बाद में
dharma of Vaishya efficiently,
आप
then
स्वर्ग
after
जाएंगे,
dying you will go to
फिर
Swarga,
वापस आएंगे,
then you will again come
फिर
down
आपका जन्म क्षत्रिय कुल में होगा।
and you will be born in a
आप
Kshatriya
क्षत्रिय
family.
का धर्म निभाते
Then
हैं
you
ठीक से,
will, if you perform your Kshatriya duties
फिर बाद में आप
efficiently,
स्वर्ग जाएंगे
and after death you go to Swarga
और वहां से
and
आके फिर आप
come back,
ब्राह्मण बनेंगे।
and then you are born in a Brahman family.
क्षत्रिय और ब्राह्मण का धर्म
And when you
निभाएंगे
perform the Brahman
केवल
dharma
ब्राह्मण ही
nicely,
संन्यास ले सकता है,
then
उनका
only a
संन्यास
Brahman
संन्यास और
is
कोई भी
eligible
क्षत्रिय
to take sannyas.
नहीं ले सकता।
Kshatriya cannot take
क्षत्रिय
sannyas.
वानप्रस्थ तक जाता है
Kshatriya can go till Vanaprastha.
और शूद्र ग्रस्त तक जाता है और वैश्य भी ग्रस्त तक ही
Shudra
जाता
can
है।
maximum become Grihastha,
ब्राह्मण जो
and
है वो संन्यास ले सकता
same
है
for Vaishya
और
also.
संन्यास
Only
भी बहुत
Brahman is
कठिन है,
eligible to take
वानप्रस्थ
sannyas.
भी बहुत
And
कठिन है।
sannyas is very difficult.
वानप्रस्थ
Actually,
तपस्या करना
Vanaprastha
पड़ता है,
itself is also very difficult.
सर्दी का समय
In
होता है,
Vanaprastha, you have to do
15 दिन
tapasya.
तक नदी में ठंडे पानी में खड़ा होकर जप करना पड़ता है।
During winter, you have
और
to
स्त्री है तो उसको रात में
stand in the
पानी में खड़ा
river
होकर
till your
जमा
neck and chant japa.
जमा के उसको
And
दस्तक
during summer,
करना
you
पड़ता है,
have to
उसको
light
तपस्या बोलते
fire
हैं,
around
तप
yourself,
बोलते हैं।
and there you have to do tapasya.
वानप्रस्थ बहुत ही
It
कठिन
is
है,
called Panchagni, Tap. So Vanaprastha is
ऐसे
very
करते
difficult.
करते ही आपको
And doing
त्याग देना है, फिर आप
like this,
ब्राह्मण
you
बन
have to
जाएंगे।
give up your life. Then in next
ब्राह्मण
life,
जो है वो
you will
वानप्रस्थ
become
के बाद
Brahman.
संन्यास लेगा, संन्यास
And
लेके
Brahman
फिर
after Vanaprastha, he will take sannyas.
श्मशान पर
And
जाके
sannyas has very strict
वो
rules.
अपनी
Not staying in one place,
भिक्षा से ही जीवन यापन करे,
not lighting fire,
उसके बाद
just living based on bhiksha,
ब्रह्म
and
का ध्यान करे,
after and just always doing dhyan of Brahma,
ज्ञान प्राप्त करे,
obtaining
फिर जो
knowledge.
है वो
Then
मोक्ष
after
प्राप्त
dying,
होगा उसको।
he will get moksha.
और अगर उसको मोक्ष प्राप्त नहीं होता है, कुछ कमी रह
And if he
जाती है तो
doesn't get
ब्रह्मलोक जाता है
moksha, then he will go to Brahmalok.
और ब्रह्मलोक में रहेगा
He will stay in
और
Brahmalok.
वहाँ जो उसकी कमी थी वो ब्रह्मा जी पूरा
And
करेंगे,
whatever
बाद में
deficiency he
उसको
had, Brahmaji will fulfill that. Then he will get moksha when Brahmaji will get
यही
moksha
है
along with Brahma.
जो स्मृति का वर्णाश्रम।
So this is the Varnashram of
तो
Smriti
इसके बारे में
Shastra.
आप कभी सुनेंगे, कुछ हमारे जो शंकराचार्य हैं
So when you sometimes you may hear of this, if you hear some lectures of Shankaracharya, they speak of this Siddhanta.
और एक दूसरा है
And there is another Karma Yoga.
इसमें इस पर कोई अंतर नहीं आता कि आप ब्राह्मण है कि क्षत्रिय
In
है
that
कि
Karma
शूद्र
Yoga,
हैं,
there is no difference whether you are a
कोई भेदभाव नहीं है।
Varnashrami,
आप
Brahman,
जिंदगी
Kshatriya,
में
etc.,
अपने
or a
कर्म कीजिए,
Varnashrami. In whatever
आप
situation you are,
कार्य कीजिए,
you perform
जो
your activity
धर्म के मूल सिद्धांत हैं उनका पालन आपको भी
along
करना
with
पड़ेगा,
following
अहिंसा,
the
सत्य,
basic
अस्तेय,
rules of Dharma,
अपने
like non-violence,
जो हैं
truthfulness,
जो वास्तव में हर एक धर्म में मिलेंगे, जो 10
which you
कमांडमेंट्स
will
हैं
get in all the religions.
ये सब
Like in
मिलते ही हैं
Christianity, there are the 10 commandments.
और
They
उनका
also
पालन
have
करते
basic
हुए आप
principles.
अपने स्वभाव के अनुसार काम करो, क्योंकि हर एक व्यक्ति
Along with following
का
that,
विशेष स्वभाव है
you work according to
और
your
उस स्वभाव
swabhava,
के
because
अनुसार
every
आप
person
कार्य
has a
करें
specific swabhava,
लेकिन उस
and
कार्य
you
को
act according to your
निष्काम
swabhava with
भाव
nishkama bhava, with detachment.
तस्माद् असक्तः सततम कार्यं
That is
करोतु।
what Bhagavan is speaking of
यहाँ
here.
अर्जुन के लिए बोल रहे हैं, अर्जुन क्षत्रिय है तो
So here
क्षत्रिय
he
का
is
धर्म
speaking
निभाए,
for Arjun.
लेकिन
So Arjun will perform his Kshatriya dharma, but every person in whatever state he or she is,
कार्य करे
so
और
if he works according to his swabhava and offers that to Bhagavan,
तो कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैवा बुद्ध्यात्मना व अनुसृत स्वभावात् यत् यत् करोति सकलम परस्मै नारायणाय इति समर्पयेत तत्। ये भागवत में नवयोगेंद्र जी बताते हैं इसको।
in Bhagavatam, Navayogendra ji speaks of this. So here he is speaking for everyone, because before this he had said,
कहते हैं कि जो इंद्रियवान है, जिसकी भी इंद्रियां हैं, यानी कि जिसका शरीर
he
है,
says that anybody who has senses, who has a body, there he is not speaking of Brahman or Kshatriya, although later he says that Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they are all born from Bhagavan only, and one who does not do bhajan of Bhagavan, who disobeys him, will fall down.
ये उनकी बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन उससे पहले उन्होंने सबके लिए कहा।
So before that he spoke about everybody, whether you are a man, woman, varnashrami, avarnashrami, whatever you do with your body, mind, intelligence, senses, whatever you do, it should be offered to Bhagavan Narayan. So this is also Karma Yoga. Now you can do that samarpan, that offering, to get moksha or to get bhakti. So it can be Kaivalya Kama or Bhakti Kama, like Sri Jiva Goswami explains in Bhakti Sandarbha. So this is another type of Karma Yoga, and in today's society only this can be implemented, because the one of Smriti Shastra, you can speak about this, you can speak about that, but it is not practically possible to be implemented in current society, and it is very very difficult to follow that. In that you have to perform Shrota Smarta Karma, and you offer Shrota Smarta Karma only. Karma is of two types. One is the Shastriya Karma and other is the Laukik, the Karma, the worldly activities like sitting, walking, talking. All these karma are not offered in the Puramimamsa. There you offer only the Shrota Smarta Karma. But in Gita, Bhagavan himself says,
तो यहाँ जो ये श्लोक भगवान बोलते हैं, इसमें विहित कर्म और अविहित कर्म दोनों का अर्पण के लिए बात करते हैं। जो भी
Bhagavan is telling about offering both the Shastriya and the karma which is the Laukik.
बात वर्णाश्रम की भी करेंगे,
although Bhagavan will speak about Varnashrama in Gita also, because the society was like this earlier, but he is taking the other one also along with that, which is highly practical in today's society. The Karma Yoga that Bhagavan is speaking in Gita is highly practical in today's society.
असक्तो ही आचरण कर्म परमाप्नोति पुरुष, तो ये सब पर लागू है।
The Karma Yoga of Bhagavad Gita is applicable for everyone.
ऐसा करने से उसका कल्याण होगा।
If the person works like this, then he will achieve the supreme welfare. So you do not, in this Karma Yoga, you do not have to run away from anywhere. You just have to wake up. You do not have to run away anywhere.
तो हमें ना हटना है ना सटना है।
We neither have to run away nor we have to become attached. Neither rag nor dvesh. This is what Bhagavan is explaining again and again in Gita.
तुल्य समता का भाव, तो इससे समता प्राप्त होती है। और
this is what gives samata, equilibrium, equipoised state of mind.
योग के बारे में बार-बार गीता में भगवान कहते हैं।
Bhagavan explains yoga as balanced equilibrium of mind. So that is the equilibrium. You are free from both raga and dvesh.
आप मुक्त हो जाएंगे। तो इसलिए भगवान वास्तव में जो है कर्म योग और ज्ञान योग दो की बात करते हैं।
So that's why actually Bhagavan speaks both about karma yoga and jnana yoga, but he's giving more emphasis to karma yoga.
कर्म योगो विशिष्यते, कि कर्म संन्यास की बजाय कर्म योग जो है वो
He says that compared to karma sannyas, karma yoga is more practical and beneficial, and everybody can do that.
हर एक व्यक्ति नहीं कर सकता,
Every person cannot take recourse of karma sannyas.
करना चाहते हैं
If you actually want to
करना है,
follow the sannyas ashram,
करना है,
if you want to take sannyas just for a show so that you get lot of charity and followers,
संन्यास
that is a different thing.
उसका पालन
But the sannyas according to shastra
कली में
is very difficult to be done. That is why
अगर बिरले लोग कर लें वो बात अलग है,
in Kali this is
आम
sannyas is forbidden.
योग ही भगवान बात
Some very rare people they can follow that, but for the general population it is not advisable.
यहाँ पे तो ये प्री पूर्ण धातु से आता है पूर्णात, यानी कि पुरुष जो है पूर्ण है, बाहर जाने की जात नहीं। तो पहले कहा ना आत्मरति, यस्तु आत्मरति रे वैस्याद आत्मतृप्तस्य मानः आत्मन्येव च संतुष्ट तस्य कार्यम्। और यह पुरी शयते शयते इति पुरी शयनाथ पुरुष। तो आज का प्रवचन ये समाप्त करते हैं।
So we'll stop here for today. If you have any question you can ask.
पूछिए।
हाँ जी, भक्ति संदर्भ में श्री जीव गोस्वामी कर्मार्पण की बात करते
Question
हैं।
in Bhakti Sandarbha, Shri Jiva Goswami speaks about karmarpana.
हाँ जी।
तो वहाँ पे वो 3 प्रकार के भेद करते हैं।
There he makes 3 divisions.
जो कर्मार्पण कामना से किया जाए,
The karmarpan which is done by kamana,
करने के लिए किया जाए,
one for naishkarmya,
भगवान की
and
के लिए केवल
one for pleasure of Bhagavan.
श्लोक आज का है। वो ये आज का जो श्लोक था वो इन तीनों में से कहाँ बैठता
So
है?
the verse we studied today, in which category does it fit? So answer, it depends on you what you want. Moksha desire is naishkarmya.
परम का मतलब वहाँ भक्ति हो जाएगा, इसलिए मैंने
So if you have desire for bhakti, then that word parama will refer to bhakti.
इच्छा जिनकी है वो अलग अलग प्रकार से करते हैं। इसका अर्थ मोक्ष भी हो सकता है, भक्ति भी हो सकता है।
It can refer to moksha as well as bhakti. And if you have desire for swarga, it can refer to swarga also.
और जो मेरा प्रश्न है कि जो आसक्ति रहित कर्म है,
Next question, the karma which is free from attachment,
जो करता है उसकी पहचान
one
बन
who
सकती
is
है।
doing that
अगर
karma,
पहचान बन गई,
can that become his identity? And if it becomes his identity,
यानी कि अगर मैं कोई
how will he get moksha?
मरीज की सेवा करता
Like
हूँ
if I am a doctor and I am treating patients and I do that without attachment, still my identity is still of a doctor, and if I die with that identity, then in next life I will be a doctor only because that was my identity. So how will I get moksha? So answer, identity is of 2 types. One is related to body and one is beyond the body. So one who is doing karma yoga, he knows
पुनर्जन्म के सिद्धांत को मानता है, वो तो यही जानता है कि भाई मैं शरीर नहीं हूँ।
that I am not the body, because anybody who accepts the law of reincarnation, he understands I am not the body. So for social behavior you need an identity. He understands that, but internally also he knows
शरीर से भिन्न हूँ तो आत्मा तो डॉक्टर
that I am different from the body. The Atma is not a doctor. So when he understands this internally, then it doesn't matter.
उसमें वो आसक्त हो जाएगा।
The problem will happen when we will be attached to the identity of doctor.
अगर मैं प्रश्न तो another question is कि तो इसका अर्थ है कि जो बिना आसक्त कर्म करता है उनको स्पेशली कुछ अहम ब्रह्मास्मि और ऐसा कुछ में
So those who work without attachment,
ध्यान नहीं करना पड़ता है कि
do they not have to do any separate dhyana like Aham Brahmasmi or Brahma?
ये तो समझना ही पड़ेगा ना,
Answer,
शरीर नहीं।
so he has to understand this much, that I am not the body, but as of now I am in the body.
एक क्या है, उपाधि है,
And this body is an upadhi on me, a designation, and I have to use it in the seva of Bhagavan, of society.
तो ऐसा मानकर जब आप चलेंगे तो ये तो मेरा एक उपकरण है सेवा
So
का।
when you understand like this, that the body is an instrument for seva, then there is no problem.
और कोई
प्रश्न है बाबा जी, भागवत के 11.2.36
Next
श्लोक के
question,
अनुसार किस प्रकार लौकिक
in
कर्म को
Bhagavatam 2:11:36, how can Laukik karma be made Bhagavat karma?
11.2.36
11:11 to 36.
कायेन मन
So that is what I said now.
बुद्ध्यात्मना व अनुसृत स्वभावत, तो जो आप कर्म है उसको कीजिए, लेकिन उसको भगवान
So you do that karma
भगवान प्रदत्त बुद्धि, उनकी इंद्रिय, काय, मन, सब उन्हीं की सेवा में लगाता हूँ।
with the understanding that I am using all this as in a seva to Bhagavan.
में लिखा है ना कि स्वभाव का अनुसरण करते हुए जो कर्म करें और उसको भगवान को अर्पित कर दे। नारायण इति कृष्णार्पणमस्तु।
So the person works according to his swabhava and then he should offer that to Bhagavan.
दीपक जी का प्रश्न है कि
Next question.
वैराग्य को व्यवहारिक दृष्टि से कृपया व्यवहारिक उदाहरण दीजिए कि हम किस प्रकार से वैराग्य को
Please give a practical example of how to practice detachment.
भक्ति मार्ग में तो वैराग्य यही है कि जो
So answer, on the path of bhakti,
भक्ति में प्रयोग नहीं कर सकते हैं,
renunciation means give up that which cannot be used in bhakti. Like if you are offering food to Bhagavan, then onion, garlic, they are prohibited. So you do not use that. So that is vairagya.
तो जिस कोई भी
This is
क्रिया है
vairagya for us. Any activity, anything
वो भक्ति विरोधी है,
that is antagonistic to bhakti, if it is against Shastra, then we give it up.
स्वयं अरोचकता। वैराग्य का मतलब आपकी अरुचि स्वाभाविक हो जाए उसमें भक्ति के कारण।
And vairagya also means that due to bhakti, you become disinterested in material activities.
जो भी आपके संबंध है
But that is a later stage. So initially you understand that
विरोधी है,
whatever activity you do,
उदासीन है,
you check whether it is favorable to bhakti or is it neutral,
तो जो
is it related to bhakti. So whatever is antagonistic to bhakti, against bhakti, you have to give it up.
करनी पड़ती है तो कीजिए।
And those which are neutral, and you have to be in the society, so you do that. And whatever is favorable to bhakti, you anyway should do that.
नवदीप जी का प्रश्न है
Next question.
कि कोई व्यक्ति आसक्ति के बिना प्रेरित रहते हुए परिणाम की इच्छा
How
रखते
can
हुए
one
कार्य
perform
कर
actions or karma without attachment while staying motivated and desiring results? Motivation often stems from a desire for a specific outcome, which guides our actions. Karma with buddhi. Is it possible to maintain motivation without attachment to the results? And if so, how can this balance be achieved?
हमें अपने पहला प्रयोजन निश्चित करना है, तो परिणाम जिसको
So
आप
answer, there is no question of any balance here. First of all, we have to be clear about our goal.
निश्चित, और उसी से फिर
We
प्रेरणा
have
आएगी, उसी से उत्साह।
goal should be clear and we should be determined to achieve that goal. Then there will be enthusiasm.
गोस्वामी जो कहते हैं
So I explained earlier, our Rup Goswami ji, he says Anya Bhilashita Shunyam. He is not telling Sarva Bhilashita Shunyam. He is telling Anya Bhilashita Shunyam. Anya means those other than bhakti.
करते हैं प्रीति के
So bhakti abhilasha, we have that, we do desire for preeti, that is our prayojan, and that is what gives us enthusiasm, that is what we want to achieve.
यहाँ ऐसा नहीं है, ये ज्ञान मार्ग नहीं है कि इसमें कुछ भी
This is not Gyan Marg, that we do not have any desire.
हो गया।
प्रश्न है कि भगवान के चरण कमल प्राप्त करने के लिए भक्त को भक्ति का सारा
Question,
कार्य
to achieve the lotus feet of Bhagavan, the bhakta should do sadhana with attachment. So
करने की आवश्यकता है।
question, are we supposed to perform these bhakti related activities with attachment and aversion? Answer, obviously you have to do bhakti activities with attachment. That is why in bhakti you have both bhog and rag.
अलग है ना ये,
Bhakti
कर्म योग
path
से
is
अलग है
different
और
from karma yoga
ज्ञान योग से
and
अलग
jnana
है।
yoga.
तो हमारे यहाँ भोग भगवान के लिए, राग भी भगवान के लिए।
Our bhoga is also for Bhagavan and raga is also for Bhagavan.
का मतलब
In
उसको
Gyan
त्याग
Marg,
करना पड़ता है।
in Gyan Marg, you have to give up bhoga and rag. Obviously, you cannot give up completely, but you minimize as much as possible. And in Karma Yoga, you offer that bhoga and rag to Bhagavan.
तो
But
राग
in
का
Bhakti
मतलब
Yoga, it is meant for Bhagavan only.
इसलिए तो उसको बोलते हैं रागानुगा भक्ति और
In
इसलिए तो
Bhakti,
राग है।
it is Ragapurvak, the Bhakti path name itself as Raga. It is Raganuga Bhakti.
राग भगवान में करना है, वैराग
Raga should be in Bhagavan, and Vairagya should be for what is other than Bhagavan,
सिखाते हैं।
others. This is the art that is taught in Bhakti.
प्रीति संदर्भ में भी पाठ चल रहा है, ये तो
Whatever we are studying in Priti Sandarbha, that all the emotions that you have, they should be
यहाँ तो
for Bhagavan, not for the material world.
उसकी भी मनाही नहीं है।
Even becoming angry is not prohibited. Even fear is not prohibited. The 7 secondary rasas were explained, but they are Pritimaya. They are not
सब मनाही।
individual. They are not independent. Independently, everything is forbidden. Then you will lead to aprad. Then there will be bondage.
My question is more about the sannyas in Varnashram and their renunciation. So, how they can become free from samskaras? Just by renouncing?
बिकॉज वो अपना उनका प्रश्न है कि संन्यास जो वर्णाश्रम
The question is those who take sannyas in varnashram, how can they become free of their samskaras? That is because they have to be free from raga and dvesha.
जो बल है
As I said, the power that goes inside samskara, that happens through raga dvesh. So sannyasi has to be free from raga dvesh.
They are not, they are depending from society. Means for the
तो राग नहीं करना है ना, उसमें आसक्ति रहित होकर रहना पड़ेगा।
They have to be free from raga, free from attachment. They have the right to take bhiksha from society, but I want from this person only, that only.
जैन धर्म में वो भिक्षा करते हैं तो उनका कुछ नियम है।
Like in Jainism, they do bhiksha, so they have rules.
साइन बनाते हैं,
So they make some signs,
लिंग कुछ चिन्ह,
some
जिसके घर के बाहर गाय
symptom
खड़ी होगी
that
उसी से भिक्षा
wherever
बदल जाता है।
if there will be a cow outside somebody's house, I'll take bhiksha from that person only. But that sign keeps changing. So actually Mahavir Jain had done that. They don't want attachment to anyone. So they say that if there is a black cow outside somebody's home, and but then he did not find this, so he just returned like this. For 1 month he did not take bhiksha. Then when he got it, then he took bhiksha. So now that has become a system. Now what happens is the Jain Munis, they tell in advance only. So the grihasthas, they know already and they prepare everything.
तो वो सब नहीं है, आसक्ति विहीन।
So that is not allowed in sannyas in varnashram. It has to be free from attachment. So we'll recite the prayer verses.
सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपाल नंदनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्र गीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयः स्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम् यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिर् ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांघ्रये भवे भवे यथा भक्तिः पादयोस्तव जायते तथा कुरुष्व देवेश नाथस्त्वं नो यतः प्रभो नाम संकीर्तनं यस्य सर्वपापप्रणाशनं प्रणामो दुःखशमनस्तं नमामि हरिं परम् हरि ओम तत्सत्।